Hi everyone, my name is Ben Waechter and I'm excited to be bringing you another installment of the Music on the Mountain Celebration album. This album was recorded over the last winter after the 2020 festival was canceled in Fort St. James. Joining me today is Britt AM and Cam Neufeld. Cam and his band, the Gadjo Collective, were tasked with covering Britt AM's song Enough off of her 2019 album Psychic Knots. How are you guys doing today?
Oh,
Doing
doing
awesome.
great, thanks.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, it's weird doing virtual meetings because you could be literally anywhere in the world. So where are you guys hiding out today? Or let's start with you, Britt.
What?
Where's home for you?
Prince George on Quilt territory.
Yeah. And Cam, where are you?
Yeah, I'm in Edmonton. That's Treaty 6 territory.
Okay, cool. And prior to this project, have you guys met or chatted before?
No.
Never. No. What a great way to go.
Yeah, it's probably strange that you would have been sharing a stage potentially, and now you're, covering one of her songs. Cam, is that a new concept for you?
Yeah, I hadn't done anything kind of like that before. I mean, when Bryn contacted me about it, I just thought, oh, that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually a really nice project for us as a band to do over the. I think we did. We had a end of February deadline. Was that March 1st deadline or February 28th deadline? And so it was actually good to have the deadline because I'm a terrible procrastinator. So it was nice. Just in February there wasn't a lot going on, so it was like great to just focus on taking this song. And we had we weren't getting together at all, so we each recorded it separately in our own places. So I sort of did a bunch of scratch tracks here in this room where I am now, and then sent it out to everybody, and then everybody recorded using whatever they had.
Mm-hmm.
And then we mixed it down. It was mostly our sousaphone player did most of the mix down kind of, and I put in my 2 bits worth, but he was definitely more on top of his game for mix down. So yeah, it was super fun, and we just talked about arrangement ideas, and I wasn't sure how. I actually hadn't done any kind of remote recording like this, just small things where I'd send tracks to other people, in various places in the world, but for our band to do something like this was actually a lot of fun. And I was not sure exactly how it would turn out, but in the end, I thought it was quite successful. So something, it made me think that I could, this sort of process could really work for anybody anywhere in the world, and a lot of people have done that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was very fun for us.
Go ahead, Britt.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's interesting to think about like the things that the systems we've employed throughout the pandemic to kind of get by. And I wonder how much of that will like carry on post-pandemic, and I think about, collaborating with people remotely like this and how we've all kind of had to be forced into it. And yeah, it would be great to see it continue, because I think about like, just eliminating that, that proximity problem. You can reach out to anybody anywhere in the world to collaborate. So yeah, it's cool that was a good experience for you. It turned out great.
Oh,
it sounded
thanks.
like all in the same room. So
oh, I'm glad you liked it. I mean, the only way we recorded is just all being together in the same, in the same place. So it was a great experiment. And I think you're right that a lot of these kind of processes are going to hold over and open up things in ways that, that are really interesting. I think I have lots of ideas for, what to do in this kind of realm, I have friends, that have in Europe particularly that I'd love to record with, So it means I could just send them recordings, and I mean, this is nothing new. I think Buffy St. Marie started doing this in the 90s.
Yeah.
She was a pioneer in the sort of remote recording idea. But just personally, I hadn't really done much of that. So that was, and just I guess with the technology now, even somebody like me with my I don't have huge studio or anything, but I feel like I could get some pretty high quality results out of just and we used Logic Pro to record and mix down. Other people used Reaper, there's even various formats, and they all seem to just come together easily.
Yeah, I think it's cool. This project's unique in the sense, like, usually a festival happens and the lineup for that year, that's like the only time potentially that whole lineup will be together. But now there's going to be this album recorded and put out there, and it'll always kind of like solidify the 2020 would have been lineup for the Music on the Mountain, which is, I haven't really heard of that before. So I don't know if other festivals have done this, but it's a pretty sweet, for me, it's the first time I've heard of this concept. It's pretty wicked.
Yeah, I've never heard about it either. I don't think, and I think it's just a way of, remembering a pretty special period of time, for everybody, and for musicians, who, it's been, very disruptive, and I wouldn't say necessarily all bad, but it's definitely, it's changed the course of a lot of people's lives, I think. For a certain period of time, and then to have this album that just kind of represents that period, I think that's really great to have that.
I think so too. It's like I'm thinking about. Oh, sorry. I'm just thinking about how normally you go to a festival and you have I have my little collection of lanyards and like posters that I've kind of like gingerly like peeled down off of a telephone post. But yeah, wouldn't it be cool to see this carry on throughout, like maybe capturing some of the live recordings from regional festivals as they're happening in the future? Wouldn't that be great to have that mixed down for after the fact, and be a good fundraiser, I think, too, for like local festivals.
Sure.
To have that for sale afterwards.
Yeah, especially if you got like a unique jam where other band members jumped up on stage, like, because it would be some of the coolest moments at festivals are when the unexpected happens, or the unplanned, I should say. Some of those moments are pretty wicked. So yeah, it'll be exciting to see how people take this technology forward going. But I should probably play the song. So you guys, I don't know if we have a Zoom limit meeting or not. I just don't want to run into it.
Okay.
But yeah, so we'll play the Gadjo Collective's version of Britt AM's song Enough now.
Confined to hear the mob yell, tricks laid down to keep the frown off of my face, because I am a woman in a man's space, and all they want are smiles. That's just too intercambiadas por cosas materiales, pero parece que nunca es suficiente para curar esta condición humana. Ya basta, I've had enough, I am enough. Ya basta, I've had enough, I am enough. Soy suficiente. Just a bit of truth for you to chew. Una broma retorcida para que te atragantes. Un poquito de verdad para que mastiques. A sick and twisted joke. Ya basta, I've had enough, I am enough. Ya basta, I've had enough, I am enough. Soy suficiente, ya basta. Soy suficiente, ya basta. Yo soy suficiente. Soy suficiente.
I love it so much.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
Oh, thank you so much for treating my song with such care. I love it.
Well, it's a great song, and it's like I listened to your whole album, and then that was, I mean, lots of them would have been nice to do, but this one in particular, because it had that bit of Eastern flavor to it in that melody that your guitar player was playing, and it's the scale is Hijaz, which is a well-known Middle Eastern scale from. It's actually, there's a region in Saudi Arabia called Hijaz, and so that scale is all through the Arabic world, and also in Turkey. That particular scale is known as Hijaz, and it's the favored scale of lots of the Romani people in Turkey would use that. So, it was a scale I was really familiar with, so I thought, oh, that'll be nice for our band to do that particular song. And the sentiment as well was, I mean, just the idea that, we are enough, I'm enough and I started thinking about, as musicians, I don't know if this is, I'm only speaking for myself, but, sometimes our identity gets caught up in, the validation we get from playing, and, you get out in front of crowds and you get all that experience, and then all of a sudden that stops, and then you have to kind of, it's almost like rethinking your identity and how to be, what it means as an individual to just live in the world. I mean, maybe that's trivial or something, but still I feel like, and that song kind of represented some of those things for me. So that's partly, how we chose the tune.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love hearing about the process. I definitely resonate with that idea of like trying to figure out, especially at a time when we have so many of those like real world sort of ways of getting that validation, you know, they're not available to us right now. Like, how do we exist as musicians in the world when we
Sure.
can't stage, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's been a real like sort of dark night of the soul for a lot of folks, but hopefully I felt like I hit a real low point, and then I just picked up my guitar again, and it's like, why am I doing this? Why do I play? Like, why do I
Sure.
write? And especially with like social media can add such an extra sort of toxic layer to that seeking validation side of things. And I don't know, for myself, I found that I was actually able to get back in touch with like my creativity in a way that I haven't experienced in a very long time, because there was the absence of the hustle or whatever, the industry side of things that kind of,
Sure.
you know, robs the bandwidth a bit, you know, by the time you deal with your release plan and, you know, you're doing like your radio send outs and you're doing your media stuff. And by the time all that is done, like booking tours, you know, is exhausting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's
like
the hustle of everything, you know. I mean, in some ways, it was like a strange kind of relief to have that disappear for a while, like kind of a hiatus from regular. You know, you're not hustling gigs, you're not like all that stuff. You just kind of take a breather and think, okay, you know, exactly what you said. Like, why am I doing what I do? You know, and trying to get to the source of the creativity again, and just you know. And I think that's for me too. Like you know, I went through a period where I was practicing. I mean, I always practice, but not like almost aimlessly in a way. Like not, you know, because so much of my practicing was directed at gigs. Like you'd have a gig, and then you know the desperation would come, and you'd frantically practice to get everything ready for the gig. And it's like in the last couple of years, I somehow got a whole bunch of series of gigs, like from new people at it, where I felt like I really had to work, you know, a lot, and that was great because you learn a whole bunch of new material, new, you know, new approaches to playing, all that stuff. Then all of a sudden, okay, oh, there's nothing on the horizon here. It was like, oh, big breather, and then
what
you
do I
know,
play?
now I'm playing again, but and it's like all of a sudden you just rediscover what it's, you know, just the pure joy of playing, you know. It's so, and that's valuable, you know. I think that's you know, one of the it's good byproducts of this whole thing. Yeah, I think probably
Yeah,
a lot of other people are feeling that as well.
yeah.
And I, you know, I did a bunch of other things too unrelated to music, so it's,
Yeah.
you know,
You
a
could go,
few
yeah.
obsessions, you know, that I sort of indulged in with. You know, I got into mountain biking seriously, so I spent a lot of time doing that, which was, you know, pretty nice.
I think that's the thing, right? Like, because the industry side of things is so all encompassing, and especially again, adding social media onto that, you're like having to make your however many posts per day to maintain your engagement, blah, 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 blah. Like, it feels like you
Sure.
can it off when you're promoting a tour or a new album or what have you. And that's one thing I've been hearing a lot of is artists who've actually had the opportunity to go dig into a new hobby, a new skill set or an old skill set, and bring it back into their lives. Like, you know, you with mountain biking, like myself, I love painting like on canvas. And so I
Okay.
was able to actually like have the time to get back into that again and have it be a thing that I just did for me. You know, I'm not sharing it with anybody. It's just kind of like they're sitting in my little art space, just holding down the fort. And yeah, it's just, it has been really nice having all this space. And I wonder how, again, as we are like transitioning back into a sort of normal way of doing things and a normal pace, like how do we maintain that, you know, how do we
Mhm.
maintain that that like connection to the muse or what have you, or that connection to like just time off and time to rest, which is not conducive with like a music career at all.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, everyone has to navigate that, I guess, in their own way. But I mean, personally, I feel like, you know, all of a sudden all these gigs are showing up this summer. So, and I think, okay, great, you know, back in the game, you know, and it feels really good. Like I feel like, oh yeah, I'm kind of ready to, you know, for all this. But at the same time, I'm all these other things that I've been doing, I want to keep those up. I want to, and other, I have other related projects. I've been trying to write an account of, my travels over the last 10 years. And so I did write a pretty complete account, but I'm, not very happy with it because it's just, I don't think it's very interesting, or at least
That's
from
what
my
first
point of
drafts
view.
are for.
So I'm going back into and trying to just, rewrite it in a more sort of poetic way.
Yeah.
But that was and so I feel like I made a lot of progress on that project.
I think
But
it's
it was like just having a few things. It was nice, like for our band, because with a large band, our numbers are flexible, up to 12-piece band, and more on bigger shows. But we have sort of a core of about 8 people, and so it was just really nice to have something where we could all focus on doing this project. And our singer Lisi, she sings in a lot of different languages, and we tried a few things with the, we thought, okay, maybe we could sing it in Serbian or something. But in the end, her first language is Spanish, so it made sense for her to sing. Try to combine English and Spanish, and she sings. She sings beautifully in both languages, but there's something special about the way she sings in Spanish. Like there's almost like it switches over into another realm, I think. Like just her vocal quality changes in the Spanish
fierce.
part.
It's very fierce and very like passionate.
Yeah, it's like she
yeah.
has this passion that comes out stronger when she sings in her original language. So that was.
I was just thinking about this and how like I don't speak Spanish, and so like to hear like obviously I know the gist of what she is saying. And to hear those sentiments relayed in a language that I don't speak, and just to hear the like vocal like expression was really cool for me. Like like hearing the sort of the passion, the just the intensity behind the delivery, but not actually knowing exactly what it was such that was really, really cool for me. I really enjoyed that.
I thought that was the best way. And then her son is the saxophone player, and he's 16 years old. He's actually quite a brilliant fiddle player as well, and he's been doing shows with us since he was probably 8 or 9 years old, and usually always on the fiddle. But lately he's been playing a lot of horn, so now he's part of the band as a bari sax player, and
cool.
So yeah, he's quite an interesting young guy.
The family who plays together,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was one part, at the beginning there, typically in Middle Eastern music, you have what's called a taksim, which is just like an improvised little section where, you explore the tonality of the piece. And that was the one part I wasn't sure how we were actually going to do it without actually all being together. And that was the part that surprised me, is how coherent that actually sounded in the end. Like I'm not even sure how we managed that, because I just sent in my part and everyone just added around it, and then it all okay.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that wasn't recorded all together, that whole song. Yeah, you guys did an amazing job of layering that. And really
thanks.
Really.
Yeah. But I should probably, I just am worried. I think I have a 30-minute limit or something because I don't have a premium account. But I just want to thank both of you guys for making the time to sit down and chat. It's been a pleasure meeting you both, and hopefully we get to see you live somewhere in the coming year.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll be at Mumfest. One of these.
Yeah.
And you've played there before, Britt?
I have, yes. Yeah.
I've played there twice with two different bands.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
With my daughter Billy Zizi, who's also playing guitar on
nice.
the.
Oh, she's your daughter. She's ace talent. Like
Yeah, I don't know
really,
if you were
really
there
killer
that year.
player.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
But we were there with the drummer from was there with Billy and myself, and then a different bass player.
Nice.
But yeah, and then I think I was at one of the very first Mumfests with a band called Back Porch Swing. But that was, I think, maybe the first Mumfest. It was on the mountain at that point. I think it's back on the mountain now. It went to the meadow,
Yeah.
and now it's back on the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, it's made the journey back. Yeah. Yeah. I've always had such a wonderful time performing at Mom, and also just being at Mom, whether I'm performing or not. The crew is always wonderful. Lionel, of course, is like and Rosemary, and so like it's really cool to see this next like set of folks taking over the board, and like Bryn taking the helm is awesome. Like obviously a huge fan of Bryn Porter as well, and like there's just so many gems on the board that I'm really looking forward to. Looking forward to things opening up again. Like here comes 2022. Yeah.
Party like it's 2019.
That's totally.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I just got a notification saying this meeting was unlimited. So, but I mean,
good.
Well then.
The meeting has been upgraded to unlimited time. So.
Well, let's start at the beginning. Like, when did you first pick up an instrument? And let's just go day by day from there.
Yeah, we could talk for a long time here, I think.
Yeah.
But no, if you want to wrap it up, that's good.
Yeah, I'll just do that part here. But if anyone that's watching this is interested in listening to this song again, you can go to mumfest.bandcamp.com, MOMFEST.bandcamp.com. And I believe the plan is to release the songs over the next month and a half until the whole album will be out in August. And I'd strongly recommend, if you're watching this, you purchase that album, because the money's going to go towards the Music on the Mountain Society, which will fund future festivals or projects like this. And Music on the Mountain just wanted to gratefully acknowledge the support of the BC Arts Council with this project. And just for anyone that's watching this that was part of putting this together, is a really cool thing for me to just sit in on and see how these concepts came together. It's pretty cool. But thanks, you guys.
Thank you so much. It's really
thank you,
both of you, sort of face to face. At least now I'll recognize you if I see you out and about someday.
Exactly. Okay. Thanks
so much.
Great to meet you.
Yeah, for sure. Cheers, everyone.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.